Whoa.
Oh, we're going.
It is go time.
It is. Go, go, go.
Ah, I love it. This is the sanctuary, is it not, Mitch?
Believe it or not, this is like my man cave.
Oh,
It's
beautiful.
It's the greatest thing. But the funny thing is, sometimes in a man cave, you want to be alone, but we're like talking to like 100 people or 300 people. Thousands and countries across the world.
It's too global. It's too big. So check out what happened on the way here today.
Yeah, what happened?
So I'm driving, get off work. I do a little train, go to the parking ride, get in my car. When it's podcast day, I gotta be mobile. Gotta get here quick.
Absolutely.
So as the green light goes on the intersection, I slowly start pulling off driving. Well, there's the guy on the pedestrian. So on the other side of the intersection, he's got the right of way. He starts walking through the crosswalk, to get to the other side.
Yeah.
Well, this van, like those early 1990s, like MPV
Like the
vans.
abducted kids back.
Yeah. A little bit step up in class. Not much in performance.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, this thing comes barreling around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Almost hit. What am I saying? It did hit the guy.
Oh, no
so
way.
the van, person in the van puts the brakes on. Guy hits him in the leg a little bit. He kind of gets up on the hood. I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, this guy's gonna get smoked. And in my head, all I'm thinking is, I can't stop and be a witness.
No.
I don't want to be late.
You can't be late.
Because if it's past 5:30, we have a rule.
we start.
Right?
And guess what? But I got 2 alternates ready to go at all times.
I know you
3
do.
alternates.
3 now, 3.
Jeff is number 1. He's itching to go.
All
Mind you, he's
qualified.
giving himself a microphone now, so it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
And then we got Derek and Caleb ready to rock and roll.
And they're qualified. They know their sports.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They know. And we had Zach, just so you know, we had Zach in the booth once. So we're going to make you two fight in Mortal Kombat. That's just the original plan that we have set. We might think of other alternatives, maybe a quiz. But it's
a good idea.
To be on the podcast.
That's a great idea. I like
Maybe
that.
we should see who scores higher, Jeff. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, yeah. Oh,
podcast quiz. I think that, the fact we walk in, how nice it is we walk in and both these guys are like, hey, it's 64 day today.
They love what's going on.
They like what's going on. Well,
Yeah.
well done, gentlemen. Like, kissing our asses is going to win you some
So that
more
guy,
Timbits,
the guy's
for sure.
safe. I just want to let him. That's funny, Mitch. The guy is safe. It's all good. But part of me also kind of wish the van hit him a little harder.
Oh, yeah?
Just to give him a little air. I just wanted to see if he'd stick the landing, Mitch.
Could have been, but you're a Greek judge. You would have given him like 3 out of 10. You're like, you didn't do it right.
Yeah, it's like, well, your form's all right. What's the matter with
Come on,
you?
what's wrong? You've never been hit by a car before. And that's how we start podcast number 24.
Whoa!
Big number. We are just creeping up there.
A 2-4 of real locker room talk. Isn't that great?
And just as refreshing, really, at the end of the day. Well, we got lots to talk about today. Like, we have March Madness. We want to talk about the 64 list has been put together and even worked on. Wait until you hear some of the key matchups that happen. It is awesome. Better than we expected.
We got Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather news going to be in the show today.
Absolutely.
Tiger Woods. We got to talk about the Tiger.
Tiger is driving me bananas. This guy seems to be top of mind for every conversation going forward. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. You could talk about cookies. Somehow people are bringing Tiger Woods into this.
It's
Everyone
unbelievable.
wants to talk about Tiger.
We got Maga Malaka coming up, obviously.
And absolutely. And we got a new segment called What's More Impressive?
I love this segment, Mitch. This was a great one. You thought it up, and we'll be getting to that soon. But before we get into anything, we got to pay homage to some people that we got to create a golden loofah for these people.
Absolutely.
And Jeff, cue the music. Because right now we're bringing to you the Macromind Media metrics of the week.
Media.
Macromind. We know this global phenomenon of real locker room talk is just exploding. But thanks to Macromind Media, we got a beautiful website that's helping us, reallockerroomtalk.com. Check it out. Go to macromindmedia.com. Check out their portfolio as well. But Mitch, 2 great things have happened this past week.
What?
Number 1, on Podbean, just on the Podbean side, not overall. We've broke 50 subscribers.
Get out of here.
And it didn't take us more than 6 months. We are trending for impressive success.
Huge.
Organic.
Yeah, very true. Very organic.
Yeah, organic. This isn't, we don't pay people to boost it up. No, we came to a decision. It's going to be organic signups, and that's why we have great success.
I wish we had more money to put towards that.
Yeah, me too. We totally pay for that shit. But if I were to tell you that we would be downloaded in one of the richest countries in the entire globe,
would I believe it?
would you believe it, Mitch?
No, I wouldn't. Actually, I would. You know why? Because when you're making money, that means you're probably working your brain, meaning you need some
Mental
insight.
stimulation.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's where they get it from.
Well, we've been downloaded in Monaco.
No.
Yes.
Get out of here.
Absolutely.
Well, that is...
Lifestyles of the real locker room
That
talk.
is impressive. So imagine some guy's drinking out of a gold goblet, listening to us.
On his gold toilet.
That is amazing.
Getting in his Ferrari. He just lost $100 million in Baccarat. And he goes, you know what? I need to calm myself down. There it is.
That's awesome.
Monaco.
That's a double dose.
Huge.
Monaco.
Huge.
That is awesome. That is some big news.
We alluded to it the other week. I got to touch on it. We're also on Agape Greek Radio. We just rolled that off in the 2 weeks ago. It started. So that's AGAPEGREEK and radio. We don't got to spell the whole thing. But agapegreekradio.com. You can hear our podcast 9 p.m. all week, Mountain Time, real locker room talk. It's an amazing thing. It's huge.
Awesome. Fantastic. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So,
Stan the man, thank you.
Thank you again, Stan. So you got Monaco, you got the world. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Does it end?
We're done.
Are we done?
We're done.
Well, that's it.
3 more
That's
episodes,
it.
Mitch. We just pass this thing off to
absolutely.
maybe Derek and Cam and Jeff working
you know
for
what?
a bit.
Think about it, boys. Think about it. You guys are already learning how to do... Oh, wait a minute. Then they won't need Jeff.
They'll always need Jeff.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They'll
Correct
they'll
answer.
always need...
That's what these guys are doing here. They're like trying to become realtors and sell themselves their own houses and stuff. I see what's going on here.
That's illegal.
So you mean to tell me we just keep winning like Putin?
It's unbelievable.
Like it.
We keep winning. Yeah, we do keep winning like Putin.
That guy is just unstoppable.
And
You know what? He should have maybe made the list of 64 now that I think about it.
Oh my God. See, you know what? He does play hockey and
know what?
he's a dual athlete.
If we've ever made one mistake,
It's this
That's
one right
that
here.
right
there
there.
go our Russian downloads.
yep.
There they go.
No, we'll bring it back. Give us a chance. We'll bring it back. That's hilarious. Well, that's great. Awesome. And thank you, everyone, for continuously to download and listen to us. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's big news.
really good achievement.
I love it. Well, let's get into the banter talk. You know, this is my favorite segment. I love it when I turn into TMZ guy. All I need is a water bottle and to sit at the back of the studio. And
I can see you being that guy.
and being that guy. You know what I mean? And
just over the 2-foot wall.
Yeah, exactly. Very funny. All right. Well, last week we did our first one ever. We did the March Madness. Thank you very much. Jeff brought me a water bottle, and I'm ready to rock and roll. Thank you, Jeff. Last week we had March Madness on. We had Big Data, Lamp, Mandu, whatever nickname you want to give him, and we had comic book George Liaridis here last week. And we talked NCAA basically the whole time.
Yeah.
And all I can say is, if you watched even 2 minutes of the game, it was crazy. There was nothing but upsets. And I like to go back to going to what George said. George said it very honestly. We asked him, who's the dark horses? Who's the favorites? Who's this? His simple answer. And he was right again. George has done it again. He said it's wide open, guys. And damn, was he right.
He did.
Crazy.
Great call. So that means Big Data, you're out.
Big Data's gone.
George just
The numbers mean nothing anymore, Big Data. They mean nothing. George is in.
The numbers do lie.
The numbers definitely lie. And after what we witnessed on March Madness, it was great. But what a great tournament. Like, I just absolutely enjoy it. And
Yes,
by
it
the
was,
way,
Mitch.
Thursday I was with them like I said I was. And it was bonkers. And the whole bar turned into just catastrophe when everything was going crazy. People are cheering. People are happy because there's like betting going around. It was nuts. Now, speaking of betting, do you know who the happiest guy is?
Your bookie for sure.
100%.
For sure.
There's two guys that are happy. My bookie for sure was happy on Thursday, and this guy right here for the rest of the week. If I've learned anything in my life, Dimitri, it's this. When you never make the same mistake twice, all right?
Right.
I try not to anyways. And what I realized on Thursday, I couldn't catch a cold if I wanted to, Ben. I lost every game known to man. I could not hit anything.
Well, I saw that in the bracket.
Oh,
because
my
we joined
God.
that bracket that those guys put on.
I got murdered. And then you know what I did Friday? I said, you know what? I'm just not going to bet. So, ha-ha to you, bookie. You could have taken me for everything I owned, but I stopped it from happening.
Mitch, here's a question.
So the joke's on you.
Are you bet? I'm not betting. So here's my question.
Yeah.
When you lose substantially,
Yeah.
does the bookie get you anything as kind of like a, hey, you know what? I know you just lost $10,000 or however much you're betting. I bought you a bottle of wine. Better luck next time. Is there anything like that going on?
Now there is that kind of relationship, but when I first started out, oh hell no. That dude was expecting his money, you pay the guy and it's done.
Was he interviewing you more than you interviewing him?
You know what? Any good bookie, if they're smart, especially if you're going to do it the old school way of like face-to-face interactions, absolutely. You got to know who you're dealing with, right? If you let anybody just call you and place a bet, good luck finding them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
But no, my boy, he's a good guy. I actually consider him a friend of mine. But the joke is on him. Yeah. I kept calling him and taunting him. I'm like, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play it. And then I wouldn't do it.
You may have gotten Mitch's money on Thursday.
You got me on Thursday.
Well, what happened? Did you have money to go out Friday? Bookman?
You think you're going to make your mortgage payments for the next 6 months off me? Only 3 months you get. That's it. That's all you get.
No all-inclusives for you this week.
Sucks to be you, doesn't it, buddy?
You showed him, Mitch.
Damn right.
You showed him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted you to know, I learned my lesson. You see that? There it is. There it is. Dimitri's loving that. The next thing I want to talk about is going forward is the NFL free agency started last week. We talked a little bit about it with the guys. We got into it. There were some major things that happened. Case Keenum went over to Denver. Kirk Cousins apparently is now won the money ball and like he won a lot of money, that guy. Yeah. I feel like he won it. I don't know if he earned it. He won it.
Yeah, is he playing for the Vikings or did he just win the Powerball?
I think he won the Powerball. I'm pretty sure that's kind of what happened with this guy. So this guy goes to Minnesota. Yeah. Good
Lots
on
of
him.
movement.
Lots of movement. But, you know, me and you talked about it a little bit during the week. Who is really the winner in the NFL free agent market? I think we came up with something, and I love what we came up with.
Remind me now. I'm drawing a blank.
You don't remember?
No.
This right now is like the New England Patriots' favorite time of the year. This is like after Christmas, Boxing Day.
Yeah.
They literally look at the list of all these big names that used to be big names 2-3 years ago. Were getting massive contracts. Yep. They got cut, and now Bill Belichick walks into free agency saying, wow, look at the cabinet. It is going to be stacked with names and names.
We equated
it
like he shops at, like the Patriots shop at Winners.
Yeah. It's all wholesome names. They're all
great names.
Yeah,
absolutely. They come in.
They all fit. They might not fit perfectly, but you know you'll make it work, right? Yeah. You might have a nice little cardigan. You're like, I can use those pants. I can use those Cordell pants. Cordell Patterson pants. I can use some of those.
I'll take a Cordell Patterson. You know what? I found some socks that were on sale.
Saw some socks.
I got a great.
I'm thinking
sport blazer.
Is Sue for sale? Bring him in too. Yeah, bring him in. Let's just pay for it. And these guys paid for it at the wicket. And then later they're like, we'll just return it or we'll cut them. They love it.
Goes to show patience. You know, they're not out there to get Kirk Cousins. No. They're not out to make a deal. They're like, don't worry.
Definitely not. Not when they have Brady at 41 and they have no worry in the world, but they go and pick up every little thing, everything else. I think it's hilarious, and I'm starting to catch on to what I think I gave away New England's kind of game plan. I think this is what they do. They're like, forget the draft. You want our draft picks? Take them. We don't know who these guys are. We want the names, man.
It just goes back to the system, Mitch. It goes back to the system. They know their system is so flawless in their minds, like overall, they can put anyone in there. So it doesn't even matter when or where they get them.
Absolutely.
Dominican Sue's a good player. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, he started in Detroit, in Miami, but anytime that he's gone to a team, it's always like, oh, he's going to be an asset, and then underperformed. But why?
Exactly.
I think he's going to do well there.
Well, he hasn't signed there yet, but I mean, I'm just throwing out a name. Yeah.
No, but there's speculation, right?
You know what?
He's meeting with them,
he is meeting with them. But I mean, there's just an array of names. And I think Belichick literally sits in his office. It's kind of like porn to him. He sits in his office and he just gets super excited. They're like, I need to talk. Like, whoa, you crazy? You crazy? Don't talk to him right now. Guys working the computer right now. You crazy?
Dude, did you see Belichick's search history? Gross.
He's checking out stats like it's out of control.
There's a lot of stats on there.
Whoa. That's nuts, this guy. What's
Gross.
going on? The next thing on the list that we wanted to kind of just touch on a little bit is going forward. Next week, NHL ends. The season ends. Our local boys here in Calgary. Wow. Talk about missing the bus. I don't know what you want to call it.
Oh, man. You know what? I don't want to go too far into this rabbit hole because next week
Yeah.
we're going to have someone that we're going to be able to talk about this
Absolutely.
with, right? And I don't know what to say. This team has all the talent, Mitch.
They got it all. It's not just them. I was only bringing it up saying the NHL season's over. NBA is right around the corner. Playoffs are starting. It's a great time of the year.
It is a good time.
The sun's coming out. The snow is melting. And you know what? Just talking quickly about our local team here, the Calgary Flames. Yeah, shame on you guys. With all due respect,
yeah,
shame on you. You guys have the talent. You got the coaching. You've been given everything, and you guys still managed to lose and not.
I still think
the
coaching is the problem. I don't like.
I don't really like it when the coaches always get the brunt of the problems. And I'm not saying that he's not the problem. I don't know enough about his coaching style. He seems to be a passionate kind of guy. He gets mad when they're not playing well, and he gets in their face. But what's this? But on paper, a lot of people, including a lot of hardcore NHL analysts, had the Flames going quite far in the playoffs. In fact, so to not even make it, I'm putting it on the players, man. I'm sorry, but I didn't see a lot of interest from them. Like, there's a couple of guys they keep referring to that say they hate to lose. They're really into it. They're really tough, blah, blah, blah. But fine, there's 2-3 guys. Where's the rest of you guys? Where's that passion, man? They had, the third worst home record?
It's unbelievable.
It's bad. But going from one topic that, we'll talk way more about next week when we have some insider NHLs on here in studio with us again.
Right. Straight out of Calgary.
What we now have is the big discussion I want to talk about. A couple weeks ago, I alluded to the idea of having Tiger Woods not even make the top 64. Ever since I made that, he's been going on a route. He came second 2 weeks ago. He came tied for second in some golf tournament. I can't remember the name of it. This week he tied for fifth in the Arnold Palmer Classic. Mm-hmm. And Vegas
great
already
drink,
has
by the way.
Great drink.
Great summertime.
It's so refreshing.
It really is. It's just the right thing to do, especially if you're at an all-inclusive resort. I mean, you got to start with an AP.
Oh, you got to always start. Yeah. A little vodka in there doesn't hurt that.
Now we're talking.
Either. And he's tied. So he tied for fifth. And now Vegas has him 8-1 odds to win the Masters. Where the hell? Why is everyone so excited about Tiger? I don't seem to get it.
It's so crazy, Mitch. What's crazy to me is what's faster? When everyone ditched him and said he'll never win anything again?
Yeah.
Or now that he's done something,
right,
and they're like, oh, he's going to win. That's it. He's back. That's it. It's back. It's back. Which was faster?
You know what? I'm a big guy on this. Seems to happen all the time. There was definitely more people running away from him when the turmoil was happening, and now that he's coming back and showing, I think this is what's getting to me is what exactly is he showing? What? It's taken him 10 years to come second place and 10 years to come fifth place. This is what everyone's been waiting for. I'm not trying to be a hater here. I'm really not. It's just I don't understand why everybody's running. I mean,
think because he was so great, and I think a lot of people were very upset in the way that his career just went down.
I'm pretty sure he was pretty upset about it as well, I don't think...
Tell you who wasn't upset. The LX wifo.
Yeah, well, for sure. Well, I think at first she was, and then she saw the payout, and then she was like, it's not so bad.
Yeah, she's like,
I'll move
whatever.
on. It won't be that bad.
You'll be fine, Tigra.
Yeah,
don't worry.
You're fine. It's all good. But you know what? He's like that ex-boyfriend that your girlfriend will refer to all the time. NBC keeps talking about this guy. You have Dustin Johnson. You got Rory McIlroy. You got Phil Mickelson if you want an old school flair. Why does Tiger keep getting the flair? Why does he keep getting brought into every little conversation? That's what if he was winning these tournaments, I would get it. He's not winning. He's, not to say second place is bad, but fifth and second, and we're making it. And now he's ranked third by Vegas odds to win the Masters.
That's unbelievable.
Crazy.
That is unbelievable. But you know what? Vegas is just capitalizing. They know people they want to hammer this bet. It's unbelievable. But do you think he can win the Masters?
No, I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't. I don't see, and it's not because of he came second and fifth, like I just said.
No.
The talent is so great right now in golf, and it can come out of nowhere. I wouldn't be surprised if, just some no name comes out and wins it. Some guy from Argentina.
But it tends to happen like that sometimes,
that's what it
doesn't
is,
it?
right? Yeah, exactly.
You never know. Look, I'm a Tiger lover, not a hater, but I just don't see him winning another major again. And I think people, look, if I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong.
But what if he does? Let's say he wins another major. But what I'm getting at
he might replace Jesus in the Holy Trinity.
Dude, honestly.
People be like, we've seen enough.
Yeah, the Father, the
Work
Son,
that
and Tiger
miracle,
Woods. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable.
The Holy Trinity. So basically we got Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Maybe Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And I think Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Or no, Tom Brady we said was the angel. He's the archangel.
He's the archangel.
Gabriel moved out. Brady moved in. Kobe's in. Actually Kobe has two. So it's Kobe, Woods, Kobe. Because he's 8 and 24.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? So that could potentially be the new thing, right?
Absolutely. Now,
and we are not going north.
Yeah, when our time comes, I think we've basically solidified where we're going. I got a question for you. This came up just the other day.
Okay.
I was talking with my nephew, and he starts talking about gaming, right? He starts getting into this whole thing, and there's this new game out that everyone is like losing their mind over, Fortnite.
Yeah.
And I keep wondering to myself, okay, what is it? Blah, blah. Drake goes on. He starts, making his way onto this thing. And
I've heard about this.
He had 600.
What is it?
So it's a game that basically was a movie back in Japan a couple of years ago, and now it's like a cult classic, and it became a video game now.
Okay.
Where it's like Lord of the Ring meets Game of Hunger Games. You basically try to kill everyone around you.
Can you make your own characters?
I'm not sure, actually. I haven't played. But the reason I'm bringing it up is this. So you got gamers that I just noticed on a couple of local sports channels. They've got competitions. Like EA Sports has got a $100,000 prize to...
Yeah, these things are getting huge.
They're getting huge. So my question now is simply this. On TSN or some of the sports networks, you have bowling, you have golf, you have... And you'll see where I'm going with this. Gaming. And
don't forget darts, man.
Darts.
I was watching darts last week. I was glued to the TV.
Poker.
For half an hour.
The spelling bee. And the dog show. What I'm getting at is sports is changing literally right in front of us. Is gaming considered a sport?
Well,
and I'm putting it in with golf because for years golf has been known as a skill.
Yeah, or a game, right? So I'm not going to put gaming as a sport, but I will put it in the game category. And what I do think about gaming is these, and I'm not even going to say kids because it's adult. It started with the Generation X, I believe. Or was it Generation Y? With the consoles, I can't remember. I don't know generations. Let's be honest.
Generation Y, I think.
I just try to sound smart,
sure.
Right? But anyhow, so it's not just kids; it's adults, and it is younger kids as well. But it's a very highly skilled thing. Like they're taking it to the next level. Like this isn't a joke. Well, this isn't let's pick up a video game. People are getting paid crazy. There's this one League of Legends. I remember it was this game where have you guys heard about this game? That did you play it? I used to when I was a kid. Yeah. You used to, yeah. So what it is, Mitch, is like the Lord of the Rings type thing. And what happens is you pick your character, and you got your team, and you got your special powers, and basically you're just trying to beat the other team, right? But people are getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like they would take a team of 5 or 6, put them in a household, and they'd get sponsored for crazy amounts of money. StarCraft, that was another one of those games. I know that because I used to play it. Obviously not a competitive level, but it's nuts.
So
it's nuts.
What you're saying is video games, poker, all this stuff that we normally would never have classified as a sport can be classified as a sport now.
Not as a sport. I think it's still considered a game.
Okay.
When it comes to sport, I need athleticism.
Okay.
And on top of athleticism, it has to be actual. You're competing against someone at the same time. That's why golf is not a sport for me. Because you're competing against yourself.
All right.
What's the other one? Tennis is a sport because it's one for one.
I don't know. I got to think about it more. I heard about this. My nephew was telling me about it. I was kind of like, what is going on here? It is literally a phenomenon. And it's something that I don't think we should ignore, to be honest. We maybe
I agree.
are going to touch on it going forward because I don't want to leave it behind. I think that there's enough people out there that want to hear something about it. And I mean, if you go to YouTube, kids are literally watching guys play video games or girls play video games and paying to watch it. It's crazy. So, I mean, if we're willing to pay to go to a golf event or a bowling event,
I'd go to a game. I would.
I wonder if we're not too far away
from it's a spectator sport or event, call it or whatnot, but really quick to touch. There was this kid, and how I came across it, I don't remember, but he won $300,000 in a Mortal Kombat final. He won the tournament.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He won $300K.
Well, right now, EA Sports for football, for Madden football, they've got tournaments going on, $100,000 taker. Same with hockey right now, $100,000 taker.
Amazing.
It's crazy. So just curious. I just wanted to see what the situation was going forward. Now, big news that came out today was your buddy, your best friend, decided he wanted to go get himself a UFC license because he thinks he's tough. You want to kind of elaborate on that?
I love how you call him my best friend, and I wish he was, because I'd be one rich sidekick. And I'd take you with me.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Thank you. And I would take you with me.
I'd take you with me.
Yes, thank you.
So, so it was reported today. Now, I pulled something up here because I wanted to read just a couple quotes. So it was reported today that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is actively seeking his MMA, mixed martial arts fighting license.
Okay.
Now, obviously, there's a lot of rumors. Is he going to go in? He's come out with some videos. A lot of people thought it was just talk for him to stay relevant, stay in the game. There was other rumors that maybe he was just doing this to help the UFC and maybe he's getting paid on the back end just to kind of keep these talks going on.
All right.
But this is a quote from him. And he had an interview with TMZ Sports. They caught him. And he goes, they asked him about it. He goes, not yet, but everything takes time. And I quote, eventually we're going to apply for the license and hopefully we can fight. I'll probably need a little bit longer than 3 months, in brackets, a little bit longer, even if it takes 6 to 8 months, whatever it takes. We want to make sure that everything is done correctly and everything is done right away. So he said that he's going to be training with Tyron Woodley.
Yeah.
Right? He's champion in the UFC right now in the welterweight division, that he's going to be training with him. And he's going to be learning MMA. Now, my question to you, Mitch, is, okay, let's just say that he does go into the route. He's probably got a deal, whether it's a one-off or a 4-fight deal or whatever the case. Does he go and fight Conor McGregor right? Is this what we want to see, or are they going to get him to fight some other people?
Absolutely. He's only getting this to fight Conor. He's only doing this to make the money. This has nothing about him learning how to fight. He just doesn't want to get super embarrassed. At least Conor gave him a little bit of a fight. He's going to go into this. I've never seen somebody want to pay to get a license to get their ass whooped, but I guess this is what.
But you know what, though? He's so much of an egomaniac that both of them are cut from the same cloth.
Sure.
McGregor really believed he was going to win that fight.
Well, you know what?
And I think Mayweather really believes that he can win this fight as well. Well,
I think Mayweather, if he actually truly believes that he can walk into that octagon and fight and win, then it's obvious that he's taken way too many punches to the head. It's one thing for Conor McGregor to think he did. I think by the 5th or 6th round, Conor knew, crap, I've overdid it. You know what I mean? Because he spent himself. I think the minute he comes in and takes one kick to the leg, or gets grappled and thrown down in what's that going to take 30 seconds, not even, at that moment, Mayweather will quickly say, damn. But you know what's going to make him feel better? When he's sitting in a pile of money going, this was great. This was great. Yeah, thanks again, everyone. Thank you so much.
It won't matter. And the thing is I still argue that Mayweather took it easy on him in the boxing match. He could have taken him out a lot earlier, but he's got nothing to prove at 40 years old. He's like, whatever, right?
Right.
Carried him, made it entertaining. But at least when you go into boxing, there's a component of that in MMA. Mm-hmm. And things that can serve you well in any combat sport, like timing and learning how to slip, even a punch, certain techniques, you can use right away. And I think that's what made Conor McGregor look decent.
Right.
in mixed martial arts, there are so many intricacies. The ground game, taking a kick, your stance, all this stuff. There's so many things. I just don't see how Floyd Mayweather can learn these in a matter of months.
No, he's going to get whooped.
And I think he's going to choke. I think McGregor's, if that fight happens, he's going to choke him out and make him tap. Because in the press conferences leading up, Mayweather was making fun of him for quitting and called him a quitter. So, and he could do it. That fight, if they really wanted to, how long do you think it'll last? What's the over-under?
I'm not joking you. I literally don't even think it'll last a minute.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. The only way it lasts a minute is because he's literally running around the ring and he's just got to catch him.
See, it's the same thing. The only reason it lasts long is if McGregor says, I want to make this entertaining and I'll make it last long, just like Mayweather made it last longer than it should have.
Sure. No, this is a different game. This is a whole different, obviously it's a different thing. And McGregor, if it's McGregor, which I think it is, McGregor's going to teach him a lesson.
Well, here's a we'll move on from this, but here's a quick question. Is it harder to get knocked out? Now, follow me on this. Is it harder to achieve a knockout or a stoppage in boxing? So for me to knock you out or stop you in boxing, or is it harder in the UFC?
I think it's harder in the UFC because there's way more stuff going on. There's you can get kicked in the head.
See, that's what I think. That's why I was trying to phrase it right. I think that's what makes it easier in the UFC. If I'm the winner, is it easier to get a stoppage in the UFC or easier to get a stoppage in boxing?
I still think in the UFC, I think it's just your defense modes are all going off. Like in boxing, you just know it's coming from one spot. It's coming, at you. You know what I mean? Where you don't know if the guy's going to kick you. You don't know if he's going to attack you. You know what the situation is.
Crazy.
So I don't know. It's impressive. Bottom line, I love the fact that he's I made 300. I think his goal is, can I make more money doing this? Can I make more than 300 million?
Yeah,
can I
absolutely.
make 400 million doing this? It's like a game now for him, right? It's a game.
And people will pay to see this because people have been wanting Mayweather to lose for years.
Oh, absolutely. People want to see it, but in this case, they'll see it. So it's not a problem. Now, right before we get to the list of 64,
yes,
I said I wanted to try out a new segment because with NFL out of the way and NHL coming to an end, and we'll be talking playoff hockey, I'm sure a lot more in NBA. I said to myself, we got to come up with some new segments. So the other day I'm talking to my cousin and I said, hey, we started jabbering. He says, what are you going to talk about this week? I'm like, I'm not really sure. Let's say what we do. And he goes, and then he said something and it triggered me. And I said, he goes, what's more impressive?
You're always thinking, eh? You're always working when you're not working.
Yeah, exactly. If my work knew how much I actually thought about this stuff, they'd be like, if you could just put that energy towards this, you'd be the best of all time. So the new segment is called What's More Impressive? So follow me on this, okay? So I'm going to, it's almost like Maga versus Malaka, but not really, okay?
Okay.
So what's more impressive? Kobe 8 or Kobe 24?
Kobe 24.
All right. You can kind of elaborate quickly if you want.
No. Enough
Kobe
said.
24. Okay. What's more impressive? Ooh, I like that. I like that. What's more impressive? DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak or Ted Williams hitting 400 for the season? Last player to ever do it, by the way.
I got to go with hitting 400 for the season. Okay. It's a lot of games.
It's a lot of games.
A lot of games to bring your average down potentially.
I think so too. And think about it. Baseball is a sport where they actually give you Hall of Fame status for being under 500. Like half of what you do is
I want to know how
great.
many of those hits were bunts. That's what I want to know.
I don't think
Was
many.
he cheating?
No,
cheating?
Ted's a one. All right, here's the one for you. So Usain Bolt is the fastest runner of all time. Dennis Kimeto, you may not know him. He's a Nigerian runner.
Okay.
Kenyan runner. So Usain Bolt, 9.58 seconds.
Repeat that.
Usain Bolt, 9.58 in the 100 meter.
Yeah.
Or Dennis Kimeto, 2 hours, 2 minutes, 57 seconds in the marathon. What's more impressive? That's the world record.
I'm going to go with Usain Bolt.
Oh, no way.
He achieved more in less time. Achieved more in less time.
Granted, no one knows who Dennis is, but 2 hours and 2 minutes to run 42
Yeah, Usain
kilometers?
Bolt's like, what did you do for the 2 hours in 1 minute? Like, that's so much extra time.
Yeah, it's very true. So I worked it out a little bit more because I thought this was so impressive, and I wanted to impress you. Watch this. If you work it out, Usain Bolt was running at 37.5 2.8 kilometers an hour when he
Amazing.
did that.
He'd get a ticket in a playground
He
zone.
would. Dennis Cometto was running that for 2 hours straight. He ran at 22 kilometers an hour the whole time.
Insane.
Isn't that? He was basically at the level of a child zone the whole time. He was running the whole time.
Yeah, but was he ever tested for PEDs?
Never.
That's my point. You got
Actually, I don't know. He probably was. All right. What's more impressive? The world record holder for holding your breath underwater at 24 minutes, or jumping from the highest platform in the world, 177 feet into water, obviously.
Holding your breath.
You know what? Think about jumping from 177 feet.
Yeah, but
though.
that's something that a lot of people could do right now. It doesn't impress me as much because there's that guy like 3-4 years ago.
If you don't do it right, you'll kill yourself.
Yeah, but what about the guy who jumped off the moon?
He what?
Not jumped off the moon, but basically, remember he went like 55 kilometers up? He did the world's longest free fall.
Yeah. Yeah, but that guy had a parachute halfway down.
Maybe it wasn't the moon, but come on, man! People bungee jump like that all the time. There's so many players in the game.
All right, fair enough. I get it.
24 minutes
All right.
underwater.
Last one. Here we go.
Who's he? Aquaman?
He's buddy. 24 minutes. I'm telling you, it's a world Guinness World Record.
Yeah, is the
24
other
minutes.
guy's a Guinness World Record?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Both are. That's
they're
why.
both
That's why I'm
records.
saying. What's more impressive?
Water. That'll get you laid more in
Water.
Vegas pools.
Last one. Here we go. Zuckerberg losing yesterday $3.8 billion,
Okay.
or the fact that it didn't even faze him.
What's more impressive?
What's more impressive?
Oh, yeah, the fact that it doesn't even phase him.
Isn't
It's
that
like,
crazy?
Is that it? Meeting over? Anyway, see you later.
See ya. Mr. Zuckerberg, you're down $3.8 billion. That's all right. Where's the closest cheesecake factory from here?
Really quick, cheesecake of choice. What is it? You got one cheesecake for
Oreo.
the rest of your
You gotta
life.
go Oreo.
You go Oreo?
Yeah, I do
That is
Oreo.
an excellent cheesecake.
you.
I'm plain.
You're what?
I plain New York
Plain
cheesecake.
New York.
Just give me a little.
What about the raspberry, strawberry
I
on
was
top?
just gonna say with the little raspberry, strawberry.
Interesting.
Amazing.
Wow. That's exciting. Well, there it is. That's what a little segment. I just wanted to try it out, see what you guys think. Let me know if you
I
like
think
it.
the
What'd
segment.
you think?
I think the segment was very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the music that Jeff provided was great.
I think
that's what
you
made it
need.
great.
Just like I felt like dancing a little.
Jeff, you were making the locker room great again.
You have done it. You have done it again. Well, that's it. Now we start. I almost feel like it needs a little something. It needs a little something.
It needs like a.
Oh, there it
What an
is.
action-packed music episode.
When people say, Mitch, why are you paying what you're paying? This is why I pay what I pay.
You're welcome.
List of 64, ladies and gentlemen.
And I'm slowly taking my pants down.
He actually is.
Maybe not.
Weird and weird. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. This is what we call the list of 64. We've been talking about it for weeks. We finally have done it. We have accumulated the list. And we are proud to say it's even better than what we thought.
Mitch, this turned out, it's going to be a huge success because we've already seen the initial successes. Now, I want everyone to recap, just like Mitch said, it all started over a month ago when there was this thing on TV. Was it Michael Jordan or Tom Brady? Who's the greatest of all time? And we got mad. We said, hold on a sec.
Yeah.
Why did these sports channels just decide that it's up to these two?
Exactly.
We want to know because the Real Locker Room Talk list, we think, is the benchmark list.
It
and it's
literally
going to
is.
be. So we said, fine, the March Madness is coming up. Perfect way to do it. So we came up with a bunch of names. Now, this is how the format's going to work. We are going to decide on the first round, the second round, and when we get into our excellent eight, not the elite eight, we'll let the NCAA have
That's
that.
theirs.
We got our own thing.
We got our own thing.
When we get to the excellent eight, we're going to get you, the fans, to vote. Now, Mitch and I, we decided who won in the first round here.
That's right.
Okay? Now, everyone's thinking, okay, why? Okay, Mitch, Dimitri, you guys argued about sports channels deciding the final. What gives you guys the right not to put that to a vote? We took everything into consideration. This took weeks of work because we debated quite a few points. But let me tell you what we looked at. We looked at championships. We looked at career length. We looked at influence on the sport. We literally looked at everything to their respective sports, to their other sports, everything. And so you can find, we're not going to touch on all of them. You can find the list on Real Locker Room Talk. at Real Locker Room Talk on our Facebook page. We'll even post it on Instagram as well. Now, we're going to talk with some points that we didn't agree.
Yep.
And we still haven't agreed, but we're going to settle
it
right
now.
here,
Right
now. And
It's
you'll get
on.
a taste of the list.
And the final thing is, the way that this was selected was even better than what we were expecting.
Who was our
to do.
inspiration?
It was a gentleman. Frank was it?
Frankie G.
Frankie
Greco.
Frankie Greco. Thank you very much.
Joey Tomatoes,
Joey's-
Barlow. Go see that guy.
Absolutely.
Tell him you're a part of the locker room roster. He'll take care of you.
Absolutely. So what happened was, right after we leave here, sometimes we go for a quick little beer. We chat about the podcast. What can we do to make it better? And at one time, Frankie said, I heard about the list of 64. What are you guys going to do? We gave him the idea. He said, wow, that's fantastic. He goes, how are you guys going to select it? That's where me and Dimitri were like, I don't know. Do we rank these guys like they do in the NCAA? One, who's number 64? And being that these guys are all champions, it's not really fair to say who's first, and it would have taken forever as well. So he says what was probably like an angel talking in our ear. He says, just do it like Royal Rumble. Just select it. Just pick it out of a hat. Pick it out of a random thing. So that's what we did. We put the names in a bowl. We literally put our hands in.
And let this be a lesson to everyone.
Exactly.
Inspiration can come from anywhere. Keep those eyes and ears open.
Absolutely. And when we selected, the matchups that came out were hilarious.
Yeah.
From the point of view, like, wow, we would never have done this because it's even better than what we
even better.
expected.
It's crazy that certain matchups that great debates in their respective sports
It's hard enough.
and they just happen that way. So it is great.
So what we did, and just to give you an insight, we are going to talk about the ones we couldn't decide on. We're going to decide it right now. But just to give you an idea of what has happened
In the first round.
In the first round, this is the very first matchups. Here we go. Serena Williams versus Richard Rocket Richard.
Whoa.
How about Ted Williams versus Michael Schumacher?
Shoemax?
What about Magic Johnson versus LeBron James?
In the first
round.
You can't script this.
I got one. I don't know. Wayne Gretzky versus the legendary Jim Brown. And I'll throw this one out because I love this one. Deion Sanders versus The Undertaker.
The dead man?
By the way, did he say anything to John Cena?
I didn't see. I didn't watch the highlights. I didn't watch Raw. Yeah, we gotta
check that out. So that's just to give you an insight of, and you'll see them all. And please let us know what you think. We loved it. We think it's great. But here are 4 matchups that we could not decide on.
Unbelievable.
Here goes number 1. Peyton Manning versus Lawrence Taylor. Yes, first round matchup.
See,
so I wanted Peyton Manning. Dimitri. Oh no, sorry. I went Peyton Manning. You went Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, I went Lawrence Taylor. And so here was my Mitch. It's because originally I had Peyton Manning, but Lawrence Taylor, think about what he did in his position. That position he played to get those accolades, MVP, whatnot. I mean, that's tough to crack, but it's a quarterback-driven league. And so I think I'm kind of shifting. I got to be honest. I think I'm shifting back to Peyton Manning on this one.
You know what's weird? You kind of almost shifted me the other way because Lawrence Taylor is still, to this day, one of the only players to revolutionize. I mean, a lot of people will say Ray Lewis, but Lawrence Taylor...
No, I think Lawrence Taylor first.
He is first. Yeah. Absolutely is first. So, and if that's the case, if there's really only 2 guys defensively that have changed the game, I'm not saying Peyton Manning didn't in his position, but he also has the Brett Favres, the Tom Brady's, the so on and so forth. So you know what, Dimitri? I'm actually going to side with you for once. I'm going to go with you. Lawrence Taylor makes the cut.
Let's not forget, Lawrence Taylor also made a WrestleMania card.
That's probably why in the back of my mind I wanted to pick
and beat Bam Bam Bigelow.
Sorry, Peyton. You've been benched.
Peyton, keep waiting.
Oh boy! But as you can see, this is kind of what we're getting at.
This is what we want.
I think this is constructive.
Usually the bell goes off.
It's gonna go off. I think on this next one.
Oh no!
Here we go. Bobby Orr versus Pele. See, this is the kind of matchups we've got in the first round. This is no joke.
Bobby Orr versus Pele.
So I had Bobby Orr,
and I had Pele.
You had Pele.
Look, the World Cup. See, the other week we talked about woulda, coulda, shoulda.
That's
This is
right.
my problem with Bobby Orr, is that it's not a big enough sample size to put him. He might have been the best NHL player to ever play the game, but he wasn't. He didn't play long enough. Pele, though, we're talking about a guy who, for the longest time, was definitively the best soccer player ever until Maradona came. 3 World Cups. He went to the New York Cosmos in the early 90s, and they were selling out, or no, I can't remember what year it was, but they were selling out the stadiums like crazy. It was before the early 90s, sorry. But I got to stick with Pele. I think he accomplished more for his sport.
See, Bobby Orr to me is not, and I agree. This one was probably the hardest one, if not the hardest one. Pele, of course, he's a world renowned. Like, there's no one that you can go against, and I get why you want to take him. But you said it a couple of weeks ago, and I had to follow through with it and say, here's a guy that revolutionized the game. He was like, he wasn't a defenseman. He was like, of course he was a defenseman, but he was not a defenseman. He was a forward. He might as well played goal while he was doing it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You said it your best. If it wasn't for his knees, and the thing that got me is when Wayne Gretzky says if he kept playing, he probably doesn't have all the records that he has. Like, when Wayne Gretzky says Bobby Orr is better than me, I gotta listen to the guy. I gotta listen to him.
And that's the Gretz, right? But the great ones eat a little humble pie too, right?
True.
They don't like to give themselves the accolades.
Championship-wise, Pele's got a couple of more.
Here's the thing. I think this has got to be the difference maker. Pele was up against an entire globe of athletes, right? So if you look at how many people he has to be better than, it's a lot more than Bobby Orr.
Listen, I'm going to side with you again, and I'll tell you why. Because exactly to that point, and because I love Brazil. I think they got the most beautiful women, so I'm gonna side
They got beautiful women.
They got beautiful women.
They know how to wax people.
They know how to wax lots of people.
They got the best wax game.
One of my best friends just married a Brazilian, so I'm going with Brazil. I'm going with Pele. Pele, you've made the next round.
I guess Pele is the Rio deal.
Seriously, man, you gotta stop.
Jeff loves him.
Here we go. Third game we couldn't decide on. Mario Lemieux, the great one, versus...
Well, not the great one.
Well, isn't that...
Well, the Gretzky's the great one.
Oh, sorry. The magnificent one. Pardon me.
The
magnificent one. Versus Bo Jackson. I had Mario Lemieux, weirdly enough, and you chose Bo Jackson.
This was hard for me.
I'm giving you, I almost feel like I'm giving you another break.
You know what's funny? Because we had Sidney Crosby on the list, who we both agreed lost in the first round.
Lost in the first round.
Kind of hurt me a little bit as a Penguins fan. But this one, look, Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Is the most successful, arguably, two-sport athlete. I mean, two sports, Mitch.
But he never won a championship in either.
That's a good point.
Mario beat cancer, won the Stanley Cup, resurrected the Penguins, and I mean, like, literally bought them so that they wouldn't die. The guy is still considered...
You know what? I got to change to Mario Lemieux because I'm going to agree with you on this one, and I'll tell you why. 2 Stanley Cups, championships, right?
Yeah.
See, it's just with Bo, you know, like, he did so well in 2 sports. I thought that's got to count for something. But here's the other thing. Lemieux is the closest person to actually break some of Gretzky's records, and he still has some records. So, actually, Lemieux's points per game average is higher than Gretzky's.
Yes, I mean, when you kind of look at it that way.
You know, you know what? I'm going to go with, Mario Lemieux.
Mario Lemieux wins the first round. Excellent. Lemieux. And finally, the fourth one. This one, literally, if I tell you I had nightmares about it last night, I would be lying. Lance Armstrong versus Joe Montana.
Oh!
So you had Joe Montana and I had Lance Armstrong, and I have a feeling, get the ding ding ready, because this one I don't think it's going to go as easy as the other 3.
You can't tell me. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I got to put my coffee down.
Sure.
Mitch. Joe Montana never got caught with PEDs with doping, even though I condone it, and I think Lance Armstrong did a hell of a job. And that piece of shit who sold them out,
right,
gained everything, lost nothing. Well, he lost everything. But come on, man, Joe Montana 4 for 4 listen, this guy's crazy what he did.
It's the luck of the draw, and I hate that these two had to play each other in the first round. I hate it. It breaks my heart.
We don't want to talk about this.
I don't want to talk about it. This is like literally picking between mom and dad. I don't want to pick. But I'm gonna say this: Lance wins with me for a variety of different reasons. Yes, he cheated. I agree, but that's a sport full of cheaters. Okay.
Yep. I will give you that.
But he also dominated. Like, we're talking 7 straight Tour de France. The Tour de France, just for what it is probably the hardest thing. Like, next to climbing Mount Everest, I think the Tour de France might be one of the hardest things to do. And on top of the fact that this gentleman literally had, 4 or 5 types of cancer, he beat it all, came back, did the drugs help him, didn't help him? It's crazy. I love Joe Montana. I believe it or not, I'm not a big 49ers fan. I love Joe Montana. So this is hard for me to say. I love Joe
Montana too.
But when it comes down to the greatest of all time, the guy I'm going to think about, a guy I'm literally always going to think about, it is going to be Lance.
Yeah, but Mitch, but Montana doesn't have any asterisks beside his name, and that's got to be the difference maker.
You know what hurts Joe?
I would have argued Lance Armstrong if it was completely legit. But how can we have him moving? Do you know what kind of uproar this music?
It's so good.
We've just been moving the whole time. Guys, play this for the ladies. Okay? If there's anything you take out of this course,
anyone that's listening to this with their girl is getting action.
They're
right
like, real locker room talk. Yeah.
There's some.
Why don't you get down on my real locker room? Don't go there. But yeah, look, 4 Super Bowl, the Super Bowl, 4 of them, 4 time. Come on, Matt. And you hold on a sec. But he doesn't have that asterisk, Mitch. We can't have that uproar in the locker room.
But I want the uproar. You know I love the controversy.
You want controversy?
You know I want the controversy.
Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
Let me ask you a question. Was this one the hardest one? I'm willing to change this one unless you want to look at something else. But you know what? I see where you're going with it. I will change it. However,
you know what? I got a great idea.
I'm going to say to you, you want to make the people pick this one?
Let's make the people pick this one.
All right, let's make the people pick this
really
one.
Quick, though. Guys, Lance Armstrong or Joe Montana? Let's start with the guys. Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb's got who?
Lance.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Lance?
The triple, baby. You know what? It's not going to the roster.
It's not going to a vote.
It's not going to vote.
Be. Over Joe Montana. Really,
sorry,
guys?
Joe. Sorry, Joe. You know... Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's another one too. That's another one. Yeah.
And I know this sounds weird, but you know what Joe's problem was? That he won the Super Bowls too easily. It was never like out of doubt.
I don't know, man. I think
except for the Bengals when he came back.
So hold on. Are you putting 4 Super Bowls? That's less than 7 Tour de France? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You're saying the Tour de France is harder to win than the Super Bowl.
Absolutely it is.
No way.
It is. Oh, buddy.
No way.
I dare say that the Tour de France probably has just as much contact.
There are
with the way these guys knock each other.
There are less factors. There are less factors
involved I'll tell you
in winning the Tour de France. In the Tour de France.
I will put Lance Armstrong on a football field and make him run a route before I put Joe Montana on a bike to tell him to go and do an elevation run. Any day of the week.
Yeah, okay, maybe on the elevation.
Like I said, this is not easy.
Yeah, I know, but Mitch, here's the other thing here. The Tour de France is a time trial. That means you can literally yes,
it's time. Yeah, you're based on your time, obviously.
That's how you equate it. So you can train without other people, and essentially when you go there, you can jockey a little bit for position, but you're going for your time. This is Joe Montana to 4 times to win the Super Bowl had to go with changing teams.
What are you talking about?
Nobody tackles Armstrong. Who tackled Armstrong?
Dude, you know what? This is where you're totally wrong.
Don't tell me there's physicality in the Tour de France.
Go to YouTube tonight. Do yourself. Listen to me. Go to YouTube tonight.
What, do they fart on the guy?
Pull it up and you'll watch. Biking is not. Listen, I agree with you. It's not like what you're thinking.
Is biking as dangerous as water polo?
You don't talk about water polo that way. You know it's dangerous.
And we still
it's dangerous. You know how crazy it is.
I want to look up the stat because I
anytime
think
you
that
want.
water
Why have
polo
you
is
Why
the
have
most
you
deadly
dodged me?
sport.
Why have you dodged me? Your shoulder's been fine for weeks. Why have you been dodging me? You know it.
I'm almost in game shape. I've been playing possum the whole time. And if anyone listening thinks that this whole water polo match is put to rest, it's not, because I'm going to kick your ass.
Anytime,
and you have no idea what's coming.
Anytime.
What's
know
coming.
what? Do me a favor. That button on your pants, it looks like it's screaming for mercy. Why don't you undo that, buddy? Why don't you
Get the hell out of here. Get the hell. You know
what?
what? Get the mirrors out of your house, because they're screaming for mercy too.
You hate the fact
that
that my hair looks fantastic today. You hate it. You hate the fact that I walked in here and took your game today.
That's awesome. Do you use dippity do or dep? Which one is it?
What are you using?
What are you using?
I didn't use any of it. It's paste. It's fantastic. I can't remember the name of it though.
That's awesome.
That's
your $3.99 dippity do from Shoppers Drug Mart. I bet it serves you so well.
You hate it.
So
you hate
awesome.
It. Just do the button. Why are you being a Hitler to your button? Undo it. It's fine. Let it go. Let it go. Save the button, man. Save the button.
Oh,
Come
my
on.
goodness. That's amazing. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went to Master Cuts to get my haircut too, Mitch. That's great.
How dare you speak of the...
great.
This haircut is better than that.
How is the $13.99 special? Do you tip on that? Do you tip on that?
You know what? Let me tell you something.
How much you
my
tip on that?
haircuts cost more than your suits. Let me remember that.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
Mike,
Just remember that. Any day of the week. This haircut was done at Johnny's Barbershop in Last Best. Go downstairs. Talk to my boy named Carlo. Beautiful.
He's got nothing on Kathy Tsakalakis. You know it. The locker
She's
room
fantastic.
knows it. She's my secret weapon.
She is amazing.
And I don't want anyone going there.
Anyone that can make you look decent she's a master. She's a master.
Are you crazy?
What?
You know what? Hairdressers, they suffer the same problem when it comes to my hair. They don't want to let go of it. They love the flow. They love the thickness of it, the natural curl, the beautiful luster, the health, the shine, everything that goes with it, Mitch. They love it.
I would hate to look at your...
They have to look at your ugly mug?
I would hate to look at what your internet browser
You are the
looks
only
like.
guy that goes. You are the only guy that goes to get his hair cut.
Seriously
and when they're washing
You're
your
a
hair,
creepo.
they're like, Mitch, can you go face down in the tub? Can you just turn face down in the tub?
Well played. Well played. Seriously though, but don't feel embarrassed. Like if you want to undo the button, I'm okay with it. I don't care. Personally.
I'll undo the button, but it'll make you do something
I'm just
after.
I'm just letting you know. All right. Well, there's the list of 64. We are very excited to get that out to you guys so that you can see it, enjoy it for what it is. We've had some people say, well, how do you compare? Listen, it wasn't easy. It's not, it's made for fun. It's made to be good, but this is actually a thought provoker. Like you could sit down with your buddies in the locker room, at a coffee shop, or have a beer and just discuss. That's what it's meant for. It's good times. So enjoy it because that's what it's meant for, everyone.
And Mitch, we're going to put the updated list with our winners. So first, we're going to get them to. Are we going to do the vote, or is it settled? Lance Armstrong. I think it's settled.
Armstrong.
Lance Armstrong.
You got a triple.
You got a triple threat. Triple threat. Okay, so Lance is out. We'll post it with the new bracket.
And the best part is, listen, there really is no right answer. These are the answers we've come up with. At the end of the day, we do believe though that the person that wins this is going to be the greatest of all time for this year. We'll do it again next year.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to change. Sidney Crosby didn't make the cut this year in the first round, but he's also got a couple more years left on him. I have a feeling he'll be in the excellent 8 sooner than ever.
Well, a guy like Sidney Crosby has the potential to be in the excellent 8th, let's say 3-4 years from now, or when he retires, right? But yeah, things change. So
absolutely. We had some great time with it, and we thank everyone. And we're looking forward to hear your feedback on it.
Absolutely.
Now, we get down to business.
Love business talk.
We only have a couple of more minutes left. It's Maga versus Malaka, everyone's favorite segment of the week.
I love this segment.
I love it. You know, I've gotten a lot of calls on it, and a lot of people are loving it because they just like it that we get into arguments about it. But they loved it last week where all 4 guys were just like laughing and joking around. And the Dallas Cowboy thing seemed to be the big winner.
What a great hit that was. When all else fails.
You know, speaking of man buns, Maga or Malaka?
Malaka.
I don't know. Some guys can pull it off.
Yeah, I knew you'd say that.
All right, Malaka.
Yeah, come on. Don't be that person. Don't be that person.
We were talking about hair, so I thought to myself, well, we're really getting the music into
I
this week,
love what's the ambiance.
All right. You know what? Because this week we kind of had to change it up, a last minute little change of plans. We were going to do wrestling. So I wrote down a whole bunch of Maga versus Malaka, but they're wrestling oriented. Do you want to do those ones?
I love it.
All right. Let's
absolutely.
do it. All right. Let's do it.
Sorry to cut because on the list, we got wrestlers on there too.
Yes, absolutely.
On our list of 64.
The list of 64 does have a few wrestlers.
And a notable, The Rock versus Shawn Michaels.
First round.
Random in the first round.
Random in the first. We did not choose it. You'll have to find out who did make it to the next round. All right. Well, Maga versus Malaka. Let's get down to it. Because it's a big thing, baby oil. Maga or Malaka?
Oh, Maga.
Maga.
Yeah, it's been helping people for years.
All right. I'm Maga as well for other reasons. Let's see. What do we got here? WrestleMania as a whole. Not a particular one, just one as a whole.
Maga.
You know what? I'm going to say Maga, but I swear if this year is not a good one, I'm changing it up. Because they have been not great lately.
The last couple ones, maybe
have
you're
not
right.
been great lately.
Maybe you're right. But as a whole, you're saying WrestleMania. I mean, it's a piece of
They're
Americana.
on thin ice with me. Thin ice.
Thin ice, Jerry. Thin ice.
All right. Chair shots. Maga or Malaka?
You know, I know we live in a concussion world, but at the same time, I mean, chair shots are Maga, man. Maga.
Stephanie McMahon. Maga or Malaka?
Maga.
See, I'm gonna go with Malaka.
Really?
You know
what do you
what?
hate about her?
I don't like. You know what? She's just bad at acting and talking on the mic. I don't like it.
Yeah, you know what? I can see where you're coming with that.
Okay, here's one. Everyone's big debate: Roman Reigns, Maga or Malaka?
You know what? I got to go with Malaka. Because he can be a Maga, but man, you got to figure something out there.
I'm also gonna go Malaka because he wants to be The Rock so badly. It stinks.
Well, you know they're related, right?
Yeah, I know, but be your own man.
Yeah,
like, you know
he's a little
He's
too
even got like
cheesy.
kind of the same tattoo.
It's a tribal thing. They all got it.
No, I know,
right?
but it's just, you know what? I know that. You know that. You know, the boys know that.
Right.
But not everyone knows that. And it kind of just seems like he's trying too hard to be The Rock.
Okay, fair enough. I got one for you.
Sure.
The WWE Hall of Fame, Maga or Malaka?
You know what? I think as a whole, it's a Malaka. But I respect that these gentlemen put in a lot of years. They deserve something. So Maga to the guys, like for having something. But does it really mean anything? Unfortunately, no. That's
right. So I'm going to give it Malaka. I really like it, but I think it's too diluted. They induct so many people. Like, they're going to run out of people to induct, it seems like, in like 4 years from now.
What about throwing salt in the eyes? Maga or Malaka? No one's doing it enough anymore.
Look, a Malaka move, but a Maga move.
Maga move.
Right? You
Maga
know,
move.
it's such a Ric Flair thing to do too, right?
I love it. Well, speaking of them, speaking of the 15-time champion,
Woo!
Maga or Malaka?
That guy's a huge Maga.
He is a huge Maga, but he's also bordering because he is trying so hard to stay in the light, man. He's so he's gotta like eventually just go into the pasture like everybody else. How do you become? Isn't he like a 2-time Hall of Famer? How are you a 2-time Hall of Famer? How does that work? I don't understand how that works.
Well, you know, there's one side of the hall, and then there's the other side of the hall, so no one misses him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
John Cena, Maga or Malaka?
Damn it. I had him here too. He's a Maga. He's a Maga.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Malaka. I just wish, I get why he's got to be PG and I get his persona, but for crying out loud, man, can we just get some edge going on, you know?
Yeah.
Just,
All right, 2 more, and then we'll just say that this was the greatest show we've ever done.
Okay.
Fair deal?
Fair deal.
All right. Hulk Hogan. Maga or Malaka?
Hey, this is tough. I'm going to go Maga.
Maga?
Yeah.
I'm also going to go Maga. Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Maga or Malaka?
This is the only time that I will do neither because he's just too sweet.
I like it.
Bigger Maga.
Bigger Maga?
Bigger, yeah. If you had to pick one, Hollywood or Hulkamania, you're dressing up for Halloween.
Yeah.
Which is it?
Well, if I'm dressing up for Halloween, I'm original Hulk Hogan.
You're original for Halloween.
Well,
Okay.
that one I think would get more laughs, more jokes.
Okay.
But who's better character? Who's the better one? you got to remember this. Hollywood Hogan was so awesome and cool because he was so good. Like his persona before was the good boy.
I know.
And then he became the bad guy.
And they did it perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, I saw that clip because I like you, I like to peruse.
Sure,
Mitch. I'm
absolutely.
a peruser as
Sure,
well.
sure.
Not as much as you are.
Yeah.
But I'm a slight peruser. So I was watching the clip when he did the heel turn for the NWO.
Sure.
Man, the fans were chucking garbage. I've never seen the fans get so irate. But they did it perfectly. The whole turning bad guy, you're right, he was so good.
Yeah.
But he was so good as a bad guy as well.
excellent.
That's why he's on the list. That's why he's one of the greatest wrestlers. Because it's hard to be a good guy and a bad guy.
Absolutely. Sure. Oh, no, it is.
I heard an interview with Ric Flair once where he said when he was a good guy, it was so hard for him and he just wasn't as popular because he didn't know how to play the part of a good guy because he's always giving people nut shots and cheating and the poke in the eyes. He's like, I couldn't do that as
Last one. ECW. Maga or Malaka?
you know what? Overall, Malaka for me.
Really?
Great concept, but the talent just wasn't.
I liked it. You're right. Talent was there, but man, they were fun to watch. They were
some of it was great to watch, but a lot of it was like the Blue Meanie.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you know.
Well, that's it. That's podcast number 24.
What a great podcast. I just want to bring up, speaking about wrestling here in Calgary, I don't want you guys to miss this because there is a show happening this Saturday, March 24th, okay? And it's at the Royal Canadian Legion. So that's 116 7th Avenue Southeast here in Calgary. Doors open at 7 p.m., okay? And then the bell time, 7:30. So get there a little bit early. So if you all watch Impact Wrestling or TNA as it was called, there's a guy, The Abyss. He's going to be making an appearance. But, just support the local talents, local people putting on the show. I myself, I will be there on Saturday, so you can meet even Real Locker Room Talk hosts. What a huge
what an opportunity, guys! To really run there and get there.
So live pro wrestling, Legion downtown this Saturday, 7 p.m. Don't forget to follow us on all our channels at Real Locker Room Talk, at Mitch and Dimitri, Agape Greek Radio, 9 p.m. Mountain Time. RealLockerRoomTalk.com. Just follow us. Get on the Facebook channel. Take a look at the list. We're not changing it for you, but you can at least check it out.
Absolutely.
It doesn't hurt you to support something.
Tell us how awesome we are.
Obviously. But great show.
Thank you. Great show to you.
Excellent show.
Great show.
Great show.
I was joking about the button thing.
I was half kidding about the dippity-doo thing.
The button died. That's why I'm joking.
Oh, yeah, because it popped off. Did you notice I covered it with my time? Like, what's he looking?
Thanks, guys.
They're going to hit the showers. Boom. Yeah, that list, I love that list. You got me with Armstrong, but I get it.